that she doesn't approve of? Yes. Bummer. Mm-hmm.
You know, Mary Lawrence always talks about you have to get their ears. And it's like, all my horses seem to be so natural of their ears pricking forward. And maybe I picked that kind of horse, I don't know.
You might pick that kind of horse.
I do like that kind of horse.
Uh-huh. Well, that comes from decades of doing Arabs.
Right.
I mean, you're not gonna get rid of that desire to have a alert-looking horse. There's no way. Probably until the day you step foot in the grave, you're gonna prefer an alert horse, and that's totally okay. Oh, this is the one that's got the simple change across center line at X.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I picked the other one.
This is the harder one.
I know, what was I thinking?
I don't know what you were thinking.
And I thought, well, maybe they just put me in the wrong class. Let me look at my notes that I wrote down. And I thought, crap, I did enter that class. Oh well.
So you have medium, H to K. And collected. And then
I'm also
F
doing
to
for
E.
double three.
Okay. And then E to H. Marker. Yeah, this one you go across the diagonal and then your simple change in the far corner. That's a whole lot harder to set up for than the way they've got it in the test 3.
Yeah.
When you do the simple change off the 10-meter circle, it's so much easier. That circle
I
is,
did test three, and I thought, you know, this actually looks easier than the other.
it is, I think it's a great test.
But I wanted to do more second level. You're trying to get my scores.
Uh-huh. Oh. I remember her doing something like that very early on and you winding up just coming off over her head from a spot of light on the ground. In that same place.
Renee.
Was that Renee?
Yeah.
Okay.
Same thing, different horse.
Yeah.
Same spot.
That's funny. That looks better. That's a better try.
And you're going to stay on the line.
Ride the line. That's pretty good.
My arena is much shorter.
Yeah, that helps to get a lot more precision. The canter needs more jump though.
Okay.
Canter itself is too flat.
And is
But
that
you're
canter
not-
for a working canter or for collected?
Well, it's definitely not collected for
Okay.
a working canter.
For a working canter, it still needs more jump.
It needs more jump. Yep.
Okay.
Doesn't need any more ground cover, just more jump, more power and push. So the counter canter loop is quite good. You're really doing a great job controlling her withers. So typically you see people with horses tilting their withers as they come around X. She's staying very upright. So super job there. Make sure you don't go into counter bend or counter flexion.
Okay.
You've got to keep a little true flexion through the whole movement.
So she's got to stay
She's got to be looking in
little
the
bit-
direction of the lead.
of the lead regardless of what direction she's
Yes.
going. Okay, I've been trying to
Yes.
keep her straight.
She's a little too straight.
Okay.
That's fine for training. But when you put it together and you ride it in front of a judge, you need to keep just a little softness to the inside. Because if they see even the slightest moment where they think it goes to counterflexion, it's an immediate 5. So, yeah, you've got to make sure that you keep the inside flexion. That was pretty good. She swung her haunches a little to the inside, and there she's a little haunches in.
Come here, baby horse.
Zachary, you're so good. Okay, turn and go do that again. So that was not a good start. So you've got to ride the corner with her coming, bending through the corner and being round. She's got to flex in her rib cage through the corner.
I think part of it is I'm doing too much with my outside leg or something. I want to do that corner again.
Yeah,
Because I also forgot I did bending on.
yeah. So here she's almost four-beating in the canter. And it looks like her back is totally locked up, and so is her neck.
It feels like it. So I'm going to do a stretch. She's served.
Yeah, go for it. That's what you need. And your hands are too wide. There. That's better. So you've overdone the concept of training wheels.
Okay.
You're staying very, very level in the saddle. I'm not seeing your right side doing funky things.
We're still preparing.
Good. Come back to walk. Do a simple change. Okay, go back onto a 10-meter circle. Just do, let's take this all apart. So the basic issue that you are dealing with is that she is not engaged. She has the look of being broken in her back, so her front legs are coming really up and forward like they always do, and her back legs are staying too far behind her. So when you bring her into a walk or a trot, she's disassociated. So you had that moment when she trotted and you didn't want her to, and then you took her back up to canter. You had like 5 strides of super canter. So what you've got to have happen is that you package her together, but with her withers coming up with the longer neck, and so that her hind legs come under. Do you have a whip? Are you okay? So if you tap her slightly out of rhythm with the whip, on the inside hind leg on the canter, put her on a 10-meter circle, and what I want you to do is do a half 10-meter circle in canter, come to walk the half 10-meter circle the other direction, so you're going to make a figure 8. Then pick up canter for a half 10-meter circle, walk, and you're going to just keep doing that. You're going to canter a half 10-meter circle, walk a half 10-meter circle, change directions at center line, canter a half 10-meter circle. So you basically are only going to get 4 or 5 strides in canter. Because what's happening is the longer you let her go over the ground, the more strung out she gets. See, that's got good engagement. Now walk. Now you can stay on that circle, you can change the other circle, doesn't matter, whatever you'd like. But she basically just needs to stay as one piece, one unit. And the walk is what's so important in this movement. Yeah, that's a better canter. Whoa, what happened to your 10-meter circle?
I wanted to do it somewhere away from the...
Okay, come down here. Do it from B to E. So you can use the mirror. So half 10-meter circle, walk at the center line. Walk. Yes. Now change directions. Just walk that 10-meter circle. Let her reach her neck down and out. And then when you hit E, you're going to put her back together, pick her up into canter. And make sure you land right on center line. See, that's a super canter. Walk. Walk. Yes. Good. Good. So, so many times we get in a hurry, we know that the movement needs to have 3 or 4 walk steps, and that's all we do. But the walk is the most important part of this movement. And doing it on this exercise is such a good way to get the horse to really start to understand how much they have to sit. Good walk. Super. Yeah. So you sit down on her back as heavy and flobby as you can. When you've got a horse that's doing this, where it's like her back is almost electrified and there's nothing good to sit on, you want to just drop all your tone basically and sort of smoosh down and around her to get her to soften down. Yes, yes, and walk. Whoops, whoops. So that's your right board. Yeah, good. Now really soften her to the inside with your inside rein. Make her look to the right without her feet coming right. Good. So you want to lift up with the inside rein and jiggle it around so that it only works on her lips, not the bars of her mouth. There. Now she's starting to soften a little more on that jaw. And then if you need to walk more, you can. If you think that canter is viable, then do that. Make sure you get the change of bend, or you just go that way, which is fine too. It just gives you a lot of things to play with, so you really start to see where the details are, the things aren't coming together the way they should, and walk. So the going sideways is just her leaking the overkill energy out. So now supple her on the left rein, lift your hand way up, yes, and soften. Good, and take her into canter with that inside hand really lifted up, softening. Yes, and back to walk. Lift up the right rein now and really soften. Yeah, and give. She's got to be able to follow your hands. Good, that's a better neck. Yes, back to canter. Okay, now lift up on the now coming left rein and soften. A little more right board was needed so that she didn't go sideways, but it was better controlling the leaking. Good. And when you feel like you can keep her really straight on the center line and everything is pretty quiet and she understands the movement, then turn it into a simple change. You can take 5, 7, 10 steps in this exercise. Take as many as it needs for her to be able to handle the pressure of the movement. And then as you school it, then you just do fewer and fewer steps and you get down to 3 to 5. Yeah.
I'm trying to keep her thinking.
Yep. Walk. Yeah, you did. And you caught her. Good, good. Her neck is getting better. Because she's starting to understand and process that this is what we're doing, not doing anything exciting, it's not that hard. You just have to canter, and then you have to walk, and you have to change the bend. Good. Really good. Good.
I think I've been overcomplicating the bend.
Have you?
With my doing more with my legs and just.
Yeah, and that's so common. Everybody does that. You'll always start there. And really, you've got to think about the horse moving like a snake through grass. Their nose has to lead. So, when we're teaching people how to steer, we teach them about steering the horse like a bus, and we teach them about steering the withers. That's where the steering wheel is. But when you're at this level, you really are steering the nose because you have been able to connect the nose to the shoulders, to the barrel, to the butt. So you've got to be able to, when you change the left bend, her nose goes left, her throat latch goes left, her neck bends, her shoulders bend, her barrel bends, haunches bend, everything follows. And then when you steer to the right, the nose goes right, yeah, good. Yeah, that's fine. That is such a better canter. That's a collected canter. But that's not a 10-meter circle. So that's about 11 or 12. So remember, at second level, you've got to be able to do 10s. And you basically have to turn early to do a 10-meter circle because there should only be one stride of turning where the horse is actually on center line. So the lights in the middle are the center.
So we like over the center?
You were well beyond the center line. There. You will rarely be penalized for being slightly smaller, but it is really obvious when you're slightly bigger. And that reduces the level of difficulty of the movement. And it's a requirement for second level that the horse has that much balance and collection and on the bitness that they can do a 10-meter volte and canter. Good for you. Try it and trot now. That's a much better neck. Turn, 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 turn. Okay, I don't remember there. Yes, that movement does happen in this test, in second level test 2. You did not ride that correctly. So halt for a minute, right on center line. I was getting 8s and 8.